Welcome to the first episode of reviewing board games. The first one is Great Western Trail. It comes in a great box. So this is the game when it's set up. It's kind of a bigger board. So it takes up lots of space. It's got two different decks of cards. It's got the Cattle Market deck and then the Objective right here. There's two objective cards. Starts off with the ones that you can get during the game and the ones that everyone starts off at the start. It's nice that they're different colors, so it's easy to tell them apart. Each person starts with their own board. You start with 10 buildings, then you have your own personal board, and then a deck of cows, which is those cows right there. And then, so you start right here on the board, and you travel along these lines, and it splits, and then it comes along, connects again, and there's two different paths, connect again, splits, and you can also come down this way, and then back up, connect at this building, and then splits again to get to Kansas City, which is where you get your money to go back through the board, and it ends once this is all the way full. So this is a very long game, and so when you sit down, it's probably going to take you 2 hours to achieve, and so I really like that about this game, but it is something to consider about this game as it is a long game. It's only 2 to 4 players, and for a different amount of players, there's different things. So there's the cattle market, which is where you can get cows. For each player, there's 7 cows to 10 to 13 in the cattle market. And then over here, on your personalized board, which I think is a very creative idea, is you have a 4-player. You can flip this over. A 3-player, and then a 2-player. So I think that's very creative to have different ways of playing with different players, which makes it a little bit better. When you get people, you put them onto your board, and the more people you have, the more actions you can do and the more things you can do, which is very nice. The buildings are very nice to have, and I think it's also creative that they're double-sided, so these buildings can all be flipped over to play differently. Like, this is the other side of one building. So they all flip over to make different buildings. It takes lots of time to set up because everyone has to set up their own personal board, plus the cattle market, the objective cards, and then these piles. These are piles of things that are going to go to Kansas City, so when you get to Kansas City, you can turn them in. So it takes a bit of time to set up. This game is more of a personalized game. You can't really affect other people. The only way to affect people is by getting cows, getting people to work for you, and taking these train stations and getting these cards up here. There's lots of different ways to get points. There's by getting points up here, going into train stations, going into Kansas City and getting cows and getting points up here. Cows also give you different points, right? And then objective cards gets you points. Even things on this board, like right there where it says on that there's 3 points from removing the circular things that are right here. So when you remove them, you get points. When you remove them, you get more options, more opportunities to get things on buildings. So it's really well thought out. So it's a very fun game. It takes time, so when you sit down, you're sitting down for probably 2 hours to play, but it's really fun game, especially if you like playing longer games, if you like thinking really hard about your actions, of what's going to get you the best points. It's a really good game. The artwork's also very nice. So I highly recommend this game if you like critical thinking and longer games. But if you're into longer games and you like to simpler games, this game's probably not the best for you guys. But I really like it, and out of 1 to 10 stars, I would give this game an 8. So this is this game review. Hope it helps you out figuring out what games you want to get. Thanks for watching.